what's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 6 match for Red Season 8, taking on the boy himself, BillStandish, and his Adelaide Honchkrows. This is a rematch from last season in Red, where we also took on Bill. Bill ended up playing extremely well last season, and he ended up beating me out for one of the auto-promotion spots. In second place, and I finished third, and I had to go through the playoffs, and then we lost to Evan in the finals there, but we were both in yellow now, and yeah, basically that's what it's coming down to. So let's run through Bill's potential team. Even though you see a Gothita on the screen, let me just distract you for a moment. He is Lando T, Hoopa Unbound, Rotom-Wash, Bastiodon, Blacephalon, Kommo-o, Whimsicott, Silvally, Delibird, Gothita, and Mega Beedrill. I was definitely not expecting the Gothita by any means. I was expecting the Hoopa, Blacephalon, and Mega Beedrill to show up. They all broke extremely effectively against my really fat-ridden team. I was definitely expecting the Mega Beedrill to be able to beat the Clefable down as well, because the team he has, I'm not sure how well it necessarily takes on Clefable by itself. I'd have to see his notes and whatnot. We don't know what type that Silvally is, so that's something we're gonna have to find out. I'm not sure if it's Scarflando or not. It's the only Z user he brought, so it could most definitely be Z. Sorry, I forgot, actually, Gothita could be Z as well. Gothita is interesting. It's obviously going to trap some of my Mons and be a little bit annoying. Whimsicott is most certainly going to have Encore. I said this in the team builder. It will most certainly have Encore for all of the status moves that my team would run. And yeah, so that's pretty much that. Again, I was really surprised not to see the Hoopa. My Reuniclus is wildly overprepped for Hoopa. Oh well. If I don't have to use the Colbur Berry, then I don't. But there you go. Okay, so in terms of what I'm bringing, I'm running a physically defensive Rocky Helmet Suicune, specially defensive Rocks Toxic Mega Aggron. I'm a Colbur Berry Trick Room, recover 2 attacks Reuniclus. I'm a Subtoxic Dual Stab Keldeo. I'm a Vinte, which is Subtoxic Protect with Flamethrower, because I'd rather Toxic things, so I'm not running Lava Plume, I'm running Flamethrower instead. And I am an SD... Am I Z Garchomp? I think I'm Z Garchomp. I honestly cannot remember. No, never mind. I'm Adrenaline Orb. That's what I am. I'm Adrenaline Orb Garchomp for the Landorus. So that's the squad. I'm just going to lead off with the Entei. It's got a really good matchup against pretty much anything. The only thing that will naturally outspeed it is the Whimsicott in this case. And yeah, because I sped crept Silvally. Yeah. And so we'll find out what his sets are. So right off the bat, we're going to have the Entei versus Landorus matchup. And we see that my pressure goes before his Intimidate. So I know that I'm faster. And I'm going to now try and PP stall him out of Earthquakes. It sounds so silly, but he only gets 16, so I can do it. I can do it effectively with Sub Protect. I waste 4 at a time doing that. And so that's going to be the cycle here for a little bit, as I'm just going to Sub Protect, and eventually, I wonder if I can call it out. I'm going to get in the spot where I believe he's going to click Rocks or U-turn or something like that. And that is not this turn, but it's this next turn. I'm going to double Sub, expecting him to expect my Protect. And so now I'm in a position where I can Toxic Stall this Lando. Now that I'm behind a Sub against it, I'm healing slightly against it. He's only got 10 Earthquakes left, as you can see. That's not a lot. I'm not entirely sure if it's enough to kill me. But pressure stalling is really fun when you're on this side of it, really. He definitely doesn't have to do that, but if he wants me to be behind a Sub, that's fine with me. I will kill him with Flamethrower plus Toxic damage eventually. It's doing an alright amount. I haven't scouted out to see exactly what kind of set he is. I'm not entirely sure if he's Adamant or Jolly or not. I figure he's probably going to be Jolly. Just for the Rotom-Mo. That's the only reason that he would have to be Jolly. Otherwise, maybe Adamant Entei as well. But otherwise, you'd expect him to be Adamant against my team because everything else is slower. It's a really fat team. But yeah, so here I'm going to miss the Toxic, and so now we're back in a situation where I'm just wasting Earthquakes. I decided it wasn't worth my while to do this forever, as he's actually going to choose this opportunity, I believe, to U-turn out as I go hard into my Suicune. So he's going to get some damage on me. We're going to see he's max attack Jolly from that damage, but we get the Rocky Helmet chip, which is really cool. Whimsicott comes out. I'm just going to hard Reuniclus on what I expected to be a grass move, as it is just a U-turn, so I might have been able to punish that a little bit harder with my Suicune. But in comes the Lando on my Reuniclus, and I'm going to get a Trick Room. So I expected him to go for the knockoff there, actually, and I had the Colbur Berry for that, of course, so I was a little bit sketched out about that. He's still wasting more Earthquakes, and I can recover solid as Earthquakes. I'm going to click Recover here, as he's actually going to reveal the Tectonic Rage. So we see that his Z move, obviously not banded based on what he was doing. I'm just going to have to recover a few times here as we get ourselves into a spot where Reuniclus can maybe take things on, as he finally chooses an opportunity to U-turn out. I don't necessarily agree with the turn that he chose to U-turn out. I figured he would U-turn out the turn after Trick Room ended, but he encores me into recover either way. It's really no downside to me. I was clicking recover that turn anyways, as I get taunted. And I can't recover that turn. But my Encore ends the turn that he taunts me. So this puts me in a situation where I can straight up attack this Gothita. Obviously, I'm trapped in here with him. I can't click Recover. I can't click Trick Room. I don't think this has anything that it can hit me with. He's going to go ahead and reveal the Charm. It does nothing to me because I'm not a physical attacker. And then here I'm going to make a really nice read and go for the Psychic. So I figured there it was in my best interest to just click the Psychic in case he made this double into Kommo-o, or in case he doubled into Landorus. There was pretty much no downside to it for me. Based on the damage, we see it's like max HP with a little bit of Spit F, not entirely Spit F. And with the rocks up on my side, I've got pivoting that I could do, but I can't pivot into Entei. I'm trapped in there with the Gothita anyways, so there's not much I can do. I went for the Psychic there, assuming that Psychic into another Signal Beam would kill the Gothita anyways, and that he couldn't do anything back to me. And so it was kind of just a no drawback play to click Psychic, because everything else was going to get hit harder by it anyways. So in comes the Kommo-o, and yeah, that took a shitload of damage. This is not a bulky Kommo-o by any means. And my taunt's gone, so I could do whatever the hell I want. He is going to Clanging Scales as I set up Trick Room again. I knew he couldn't kill me with anything. I knew he couldn't be Z. And then in comes the Whimsicott. I'm going to predict the Encore and go to my Aggron here. He could Encore and make it so the Trick Room's gone. And the Gothita is going to come in on my Toxic. So this is a pretty free turn for me to just click Rocks, honestly. There's almost no downside to just clicking it as the Lando comes in on me. And sorry, I'll just pause it for a sec here. Yeah, so I outslow him in Trick Room, assuming he's not running his speed. Well, I shouldn't, because technically he's slower than me, so I'm assuming he's running a little bit of speed, though. Just to outrun Mega Aggron and taunt it, potentially, away from getting a Toxic off on it, and charming my Mega Aggron beforehand and whatnot. But if that means that my rocks go up, which is really good chip against stuff. It's going to put Gothita in range of something. If it comes back in, switching in on a move, it's not going to like that, so it pretty much has to come in for free. And at this stage, I just clicked Avalanche. I was really hoping he was going to click Earthquake, and he did. So we get to take out the Lando. The one bad thing about that is that I'm not going to get my speed boost with Chomp anymore. I don't think it matters. I don't think any of these are scarfed unless he scarf Rotom. So he brings in the Gothita for free this time and goes for the rest on my Earthquake. Now, I am -1 due to the Intimidate, of course, so I am just going to continuously click Earthquake. It looks like it's maybe a 3-hit KO, depending on things. He gets Taunt on the Sleep Talk roll, so he's no attacks. Best he could do is like PP stall me out, and then I get the crit. So I'm not entirely sure what the roll was there, but I did end up critting his Gothita in a timely manner, as he would have woken up that turn. Actually, it looks like it might have been a speed tie, based on me going first that turn. Oh wait, I didn't. Wait, what? Okay, no, he rested, Sleep Talked, and then he didn't burn a turn of Sleep Talk this turn. Okay. Okay, so he didn't burn a turn of Sleep Talk that turn. He could have rolled Charm and avoided that to an extent. I mean, the crit would have mattered either. The crit would have mattered much more then. I have no idea what the roll was or what his investment was. I'm just assuming it was not a roll because I got 32 on both of the first two hits. But this puts us in a really good spot. So I can scout out and sort of see what set this Rotom-Wash is going to be, which is kind of cool. But I'm just going to go hard Suicune on what I expect to be a Hydro Pump or a Will-O-Wisp, something along those lines, and I take absolutely nothing, which nets me a free Toxic as the Volt Switch comes off. So I was also considering clicking Rest there. Rest would have been fine, but I get to Toxic the Silvally, and now I'm going to click Rest on Kun, depending on what this Silvally wants to do to me, as he's just going to claim his kill with Thunderbolt. So that's perfectly fine with me. Suicune is doing absolutely nothing besides tanking Hydro Pumps, but Keldeo does that anyways, as I'm just going to fire off a big Secret Sword against this Silvally normal, pop his Berry, Super Berry, and eat the Thunderbolt. So interesting set that he's a Wiki Berry set on the Silvally. I'm not entirely sure what this is designed to do, and I was definitely anticipating him to switch out. But I can't put myself in a situation where I sub, because then the Whimsicott gets to Encore me into sub, and that would be kind of bad, because it just weakens me a lot if he can Encore me to sub and then pivot into the Rotom, or he just threatens me out with Moonblast anyways, so it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah, either way, I'm just going to click Secret Sword. This time, I want some chip on the Whimsicott, which would be very useful, as we do get a little bit of chip with the Rocks plus Secret Sword. Obviously, I can't stay on this, so Aggron's a very free switch, as he's going to just U-turn out into the Silvally of all things. I was not expecting the Silvally to come in here, and I'm just going to go hard back into my Keldeo, because I can eat whatever the hell this thing wants to go for. As it is the Tri-Attack, I was not expecting Tri-Attack either. I just get to claim my kill here. I could have clicked sub, but then I can't switch back in on the Whimsicott, so I decided I'd rather be healthier. And I'm going to go back into the Mega Aggron on the Whimsicott, as I believe he's going to U-turn again. Oh, sorry, he's just going to Moonblast this time. Now I get a Toxic off. So I get to Toxic the Whimsicott. We haven't seen sub on it. It's Encore U-turn. Doesn't really make sense to have sub on a U-turn set. And so the Rotom's now on a timer, which is fantastic. Thank God this thing is finally on a timer. This is the main thing stopping me from just flat out winning the game. Entei deals with the Whimsicott perfectly fine. We've seen U-turn, Encore, Moonblast. If the last move is a grass move, I can deal with it. If the last move is Tailwind, I can deal with it. Basically, Entei deals with that, and now that the Rotom's on a timer, Entei deals with this. So, plan of attack is I go into my Keldeo on what I expect to be the Hydro Pump. So my Mega Aggron was not living Hydro Pump from that range. This is uninvested Rotom. It's very defensive Rotom. But I wasn't living the Hydro Pump from that range. So I went into Keldeo, which is my only water resist at this point, because I did bring double water, but my other water resist is dead. We chewed the Hydro Pump. I'm going to get a Secret Sword off. It really doesn't matter to me if he wants to switch or not, but I am going to pop his Citrus Berry, so we see another berry, and then he's just going to kill me with the Volt Switch. Again, that's perfectly fine. He's taking more Rocks chip on everything. As the Whimsicott comes in on Rocks and pops another berry. So he brought triple berry against me. Bill is a madman. I love the dude. He's such a cool dude. He takes battles really well. No matter where the Hax is on either side, he's just a really cool dude. Really cool guy to talk to, and he brought triple berry. But this puts me in a situation where Entei can now win the game. So I am just going to click something. I clicked sub on his Stun Spore. Okay, so interesting. I was fine with being encored into sub. I didn't think it was really worth my while all that much, but I'm just going to go for the Protect here, as he is going to go for the Encore. And so it's interesting to me that Protect goes before Encore. I did not know that. I guess because it's Prankster Encore, it's only +1 and Protect's +2 or something. He's not going to opt to Encore me into Protect. Instead, he's going to U-turn into the Rotom. And I had just clicked Flamethrower. So I was in a really good spot here. Another Flamethrower will kill this Rotom as I get fully paralyzed and he hits the Hydro Pump and breaks my sub. Not the end of the world. We've seen the entire Whimsicott set. It literally can't even touch me. And I'm just going to kill the Rotom there. I didn't really bank on the Hydro Pump miss. I kind of didn't have a switch into it. So, obviously I could have gone Garchomp there. It might have put me in a position where Whimsicott kills me. Maybe not. He's probably not offensive, and my Garchomp maybe can just clean up the game. But either way, he missed the Hydro. Yeah, it would have been 1 differential point. It really didn't matter all that much. I don't think that the Whimsicott could have beaten me. It may have been able to, but maybe not. So at the same time then, who knows? I'm just going to Flamethrower the Whimsicott, and we are going to pick up our 4-0 win over BillStandish and the Adelaide Honchkrows. We had a very lengthy discussion after the game about builds and whatnot. I was really surprised to not see the Hoopa and the Mega Beedrill, and it turns out he dropped the Mega Beedrill for the Silvally last minute. I still have yet to find out what the Silvally was meant for. It seemed like a really strange bring to me against my team. It just, I don't know, man. It was like 4 attacks, Wiki Berry or something along those lines. Maybe he was a Parting Shot set. I'm not entirely sure where he was going with that one. Gothita, I was definitely not expecting over like Blacephalon or Hoopa. The only mons that could have dealt with Blacephalon were Keldeo and Alolan Persian. And a Alolan Persian can't really deal with Blacephalon if it's Scarfed, and neither can Keldeo, really? Like, it gets to a point where the Blacephalon can kind of just click Shadow Ball over and over and over again. Munchlax still would have been a gigantic waste of time this match, so I'm glad I didn't take it. But yeah, that sums up our match against Big BillStandish and the Adelaide Honchkrows. I'm really proud so far that we've hit 4 wins now. We're 4-2 plus 6 weeks in. We're making a genuine run to playoffs, which is not something I necessarily expected at the beginning of the season. Now, this is by far the most competitive league I've been a part of. This season of Red in particular is the most competitive league that I've been a part of, and there's only 4 weeks left. So we've got to like pull up our pants here and make a deep run if we want to get a good playoff spot. Luckily for me, I don't play Regenix or Evan. Evan is like literally my kryptonite, so I'm so happy I don't have to play him. Next week we take on Beery and the Carioca Crooks. Beery is smashing everyone right now. He is 5-0 plus 10. And then I believe the week after that we played David. Yes, we do. Who is second in the standings. He's 4-1 plus 11. So I'm really scared about my next 2 weeks. And then I finish out my season with Lonely and Shiny Spam. Both very winnable matches, in my opinion. Shiny is scary, so is Lonely. Both of their teams are really fucking scary, too. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to those matches, but these next 2 are going to be really clutch. I need to pull as much differential out of these as possible, so that even if I end up being 4-4 at the end of these next 2 matches, I can still sit in a good position, potentially for a playoff berth. As I record this, I'm sitting in the final playoff berth in 6th place, and so I would really love to be sitting in playoffs at the end of the season. That would be a huge joy for me, and I would absolutely love to see that happen. So that's going to be it for me, guys, and I will see you guys for week 7 against Beery.